Before he became one of musical comedy's darkest satirists, musician Tom Lehrer served in the US Army. That's right, the brilliant mathematician was an enlisted draftee from 1955 to 1957, serving at the National Security Agency. But most importantly, he invented Jell-O shots. That's right, Specialist Third Class Tom Lehrer stood out from all the other enlisted troops pretty early on. He had a master's degree from Harvard at a time when his fellow enlisted troops barely had a high school education. He also had a hit record, which he self-published around Harvard, and which would one day become a nationwide hit. Lehrer even wrote a submission for the Army song that talks about picking up cigarette butts, officers who can't spell, bad food, and junior enlisted shenanigans. What he did have in common with his brothers in arms, however, was a fondness for maybe having a few drinks at a party. In this case, though, the party in question happened to be on a naval base in Washington, D.C., where no alcoholic beverages were allowed. Beverages being the key word. Not to be deterred by these rules and regulations, he and a friend got to work the night before the big party. They spent an evening experimenting with Jell-O, which technically wasn't a beverage. After a few experiments with gin and vodka and a bunch of different Jell-O flavors, they found that vodka and orange Jell-O worked best. So they poured them into individual cups, brought them to the security gate. The Marine sentry took one look, waved them right on in. Now that is true genius. Incidentally, Lehrer's record, a 10-inch LP titled Songs by Tom Lehrer, was a dark comedy album, but is considered by many to be one of the most influential of all time. He wrote songs about a Russian mathematician, the periodic table, and Christmas commercialism. In all, Lehrer released 11 albums with great titles like An Evening Wasted with Tom Lehrer and The Remains of Tom Lehrer. He even wrote a song for the Air Force's Strategic Air Command for the 1963 film, A Gathering of Eagles. So Tom Lehrer, definitely a man who made significant contributions to our great nation. I wonder he would think about today's troops smuggling alcohol on base with mouthwash bottles. Speaking of Army veteran musicians getting up to no good, did you know Kris Kristofferson once stole a helicopter and flew it to Johnny Cash's house?
In 1969, Kris Kristofferson, a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, basically launched his music career by landing a stolen helicopter on Johnny Cash's lawn.
Check out our video about that below.